This is going to really tick off a lot of people, especially if you're in the psychic medium realm and you're doing these readings, especially on social media. So this is an ethical point, and I am a medium, I'm a psychic. I didn't realize that I was all that. I just loved astrology, but I had these gifts: clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient, the whole bit, okay? And I am a medium, and when I prepare, I connect with the souls. So the souls and life is a continuum, all right? Life doesn't end. That's a fact. Why some of the churches, kind of frown upon or omit speaking in depth about the other side of consciousness, that's a whole nother story. However, these people that are saying that they tapped into the children of this Clancy case, the 3 little children, and they're getting all these insights, yeah, they probably are. That's without a doubt. I'm not here to dispute that. I'm here to question, and I'm asking you guys to question, is this ethical? Is this good behavior for a psychic medium, an astrologer? We're considered, if you're a female, a priestess or a priest. You are taking information that's confidential. It does not need to be broadcast across the whole social media platform. That's, to me, highly unethical. And that's one of the reasons why I hesitated for 2 decades to do any kind of forecasting, even with astrology, because I didn't want that responsibility of telling people what could happen, what will happen, because we know I can't tell you what will happen. I could tell you what I sense on a psychic level, because, thoughts travel, etc., etc., but we have free will. So this free will is your choice. However, these people that are projecting their unprofessional opinion as to what the kids are saying, I mean, look at the impact on the family, the grandparents, the parents, okay? Even the father and the mother, the grandparents, and any other relatives, or just neighbors, or teachers, anyone, their doctors, anyone that's involved with these people. If they hear all this talk about the little kid did this and all these, can you prove this in a court of law? Because that's one of the reasons why I did not work for the police department in forensics as a forensic psychic, because I would have to go to court and testify. And to me, that's a very dangerous position because I'm visible. All right? So now I present my findings, which are accurate. Don't get me wrong. The thing is, retaliation. If I'm going to put someone in jail because of what my psychic impression was, or what my medium reading and connected to the person that was, then my life is in danger. I value my life. So these are some of the choices that I made along my path. And it would have been great money, and I'd be very, very, very busy, and it just would be a high stress situation. And but it's something that is personal to me, and I hope one day if you are a psychic medium and you hear this and you really contemplate and say, hey, maybe that wasn't the highest good activity. Yeah, I got 100,000 likes and things like that, but we have to go beyond the likes. We have to go beyond the money, because then we're not raising consciousness. So in this particular situation, it's not a good idea to put out there information that the parents or the people involved, because it's a privacy issue too, did not ask for it. And if they did ask for it, I'm sure they wouldn't want it all over social media. For example, as you know, I worked in the hospital and I worked in the laboratory, and I worked with cancers and viral infections like herpes, and also, we did chain of command, like if there was a rape case. And so I'm looking at this case and I'm thinking, there are so many problems with chains of commands, and just I'm sure they're gonna have a lot of trials that will spawn off from this particular case. However, there's so much like that is just not right. But for example, it happened in a place that I worked at. One of the techs, he was a supervisor, the wife got herpes, and the rumor was she couldn't figure out how she got it, that maybe we misdiagnosed it. And then it turned out that this particular person was having an affair with one of the techs that had herpes. But the unethical thing was that we were accused, our department, cytology, was accused of spreading the fact that the wife had herpes, which would mean that the husband has herpes and he's an employee there. You see what I'm saying? We are not to discuss personal stuff, even if it's astrology and or psychic, medical, physical. So another case is when I did it a few times and I didn't feel comfortable with this, but they asked me, Mama Bear asked me if she would do readings for the daughters. Well, 2 of the daughters were there, but the 3rd daughter was not there. She couldn't make it, but they all heard the 3rd daughter's astrology. So I didn't feel comfortable with it, and from that day, years ago, from that day on, I never did it again. But I get a lot of requests, please, can you look at so-and-so's chart? No, not unless so-and-so wants to view it with you, because it's kind of creepy, okay? It's personal. It's your cosmic story. It's what you chose to do to come here on this earth. So tell me what you think. Tell me how you feel. Are these psychics and mediums behaving ethically, in your opinion? And why? I'd love to hear it. Till next time, I got to get back to this case over here. I am obsessed.